I'm Nasson Carrillo, but I go by Nas or on Instagram FreeNasson. The and now like a play on the Freemasons and stuff. I love triangles, so kind of all got put together that way.
I just wanted like it to be a conversation, and there's just a camera over the shoulder.
Accept that there's people that are going to be better than you at that specific thing. So I know there's going to be someone that's better at editing.
And you could sit around and say, well, I haven't started on the main script because I'm waiting for to be inspired, right? When you show up and you sit down and you go to your spot, the inspiration does come.
If I don't put my skin in the game, shed a bit of blood, how could I expect for the return I'm hoping for to be as severe as the sacrifice?
A lot of people will be like, I could never do, I have no idea how to do, and I didn't either for the most part. It's just sitting down and taking the time to learn it once, and then when you do, it's like, oh my gosh.
I am so excited to start doing this. Last night I had an amazing conversation with an amazing individual named Nasson Carrillo. He is a local Arizona videographer who has been working as a videographer and filmmaker for almost 10 years now. He has been doing it since he's 16. Some notable accomplishments are he's worked on feature-length documentaries. He has worked with dozens, if not hundreds, of corporate clients, and he has visited all 7 continents and filmed on all 7 continents. Now, while we don't talk about that exciting story in this here interview, we do have the chance, you have the chance to follow Nasson at FreeNasson on Instagram to learn a lot more about that trip and see some of the amazing footage he had from Antarctica, from Dubai, from, I don't know if he's got Egypt, but I know he's been to Egypt. In this conversation, we more talk about his process, his thought process for filming, what he enjoys about the process, how he teases out his creative juices, and that's ultimately what this is going to be. This is going to be a long format podcast style interview, so pretty open interviews where I talk to artists about what they do and how they do it. I think this is going to be a really cool podcast, and I'm really excited for you to see this conversation with Nasson. Some notes about the show before we get into it. The first thing is Nasson will mention a song. I will let you know the actual song. Next time you see me direct a camera, I'll be telling you exactly what song he means to say. The second thing is I apologize for the shakiness of the camera and the frame itself. I meant to shoot this on gimbal, but could not balance my FX3 and the handle with the mic on it, the shotgun mic on top of my Ronin SC. It outweighed the carrying capacity, so the plan was to shoot this on gimbal, but plans change. And I'd rather have good, clean audio than have a stable shot. So I apologize, but if you're listening to this, thank you for being here anyway.
Let's take it over here. This thing, I'm not sure if you've seen this thing over here. And you grew up in like
In Scottsdale.
Scottsdale side.
Yeah.
Did you go to the waste management?
Nah, that's not for me. That's
You
not
don't.
for me.
That's too frat.
I mean, I was in
I
a
thought it was
frat
your style.
I was in frat in college
Okay.
for a semester, though. It was like, it's just not really my scene, and also just like, I don't know. I also just don't get tickets, and like, I don't want to go general.
Yeah, and freaking. I mean, I'm not sure how much it costs, but I'm sure it's expensive.
Some people get in cheap. But yeah. So I know we've done this like before, where we kind of go out in cities and do this. What do you particularly look for when you're doing this?
Usually I like movement. So if I get lucky, I'll get like someone not noticing that I'm filming, and I get them doing just something casual.
Yeah.
Like I like seeing couples walking around, especially older ones, because to me, I see they don't know it, but I feel like I'm documenting something, and maybe someone out of nowhere noticed them, be like, hey, I know who they are. That shapes. That's weird. Like I noticed like the trees are dead right now, but they show a lot of triangles. For me, I have some weird thing about triangles and stuff, but shapes, architecture, and people, like movement going around is what I usually try to go for. But
is it like a particular vibe, really?
There's not a vibe. It's whatever song that I'm listening to when I'm walking around. So usually when unless we're together talking, most of the time I already heard of a song going to that place, and I'm thinking that's the vibe, is what song it is. So like Philly, I think I told you I wanted to be beautiful music, but like urban look, and kind of get not edgy, but kind of that vibe where like it's real. Like, this is Philly, and this is how they are, and this is dope. Like,
is this the song you guys ended up using?
I use a Pink and White, which was a Frank Ocean song, and it was an alternative. I like to use alternative songs, so I'll find a song on YouTube that I like, and then put like alternate, and it'll be a different version of it. Yeah. Usually it's more, I don't know, I call it like pretty music.
Yeah.
So I think, I usually try to, I don't know how to describe it. It's just whatever song that I like, I obsess over it, and if I'm in that city, I'm just trying to fit that vibe to whatever that city is. Yeah. So like New York, another example. New York, I was gonna use Mobb Deep. The world is no, not the world. It's Mobb Deep. But anyway, I was gonna use that. It's a typical song that everyone uses all the time. But I was like,
Nasson is trying to say Shook Ones 2. That is the title of the song he used for this video.
I'm trying to use examples like...
So you kind of get your inspiration for what you're going to shoot from the music you listen to.
Yeah.
And you find a song, you're like, oh, this is a cool song, and like you kind of pair it to the city. Or like what you're doing.
Mainly for the city. Yeah. I'm trying to because there was a reason for the whole Philadelphia with like showing gritty, but with a beautiful song to let people know like this is a beautiful place to be at. Yeah. And that song specifically reminds me of being young and seeing the world. So for me, it was like being in Philadelphia and seeing how it is. So showing like, those people that talked in the beginning, like it comes across like very like, whoa, they just, we outside, like that's some things that not everyone really hears, and then you transition to some beautiful, Frank Ocean music that you wouldn't really assume to be on a video like that.
Yeah, especially for Philly,
Exactly. So with New York, it's a Mobb Deep song that I was inspired to. I love the instrumental. It's my favorite instrumental. I'll just text you once I remember it.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is dope, but this is something that I think is typical. Everyone's gonna use anyway. So I was like, you know what? I heard one random song from an artist, A$AP Ferg, and I was like, whoa, I forgot I like this guy. He's from New York. Why not use this?
Yeah.
And I was like, and again, the way my style is, I try to find alternate versions of specific songs. That one I couldn't, because it's not a big song for people to do that. So I just found a sample from another song, found it on YouTube, and screen recorded it and put it in the beginning and transitioned to the A$AP Ferg song as like, let me show New York and its like religious side, and then let me just show New York and let it be fast paced and how it is.
Yeah.
And that's why that one's like very fast paced compared to the other ones. And that one too, that one's just to show how New York was. Like to me, in my point of view, which was very fast, so many people. So the editing reflected on that, using a fast song, using sound effects. So I think you're right. Sometimes the city can be the inspiration as the edit.
Yeah, because like I don't know. Like it's interesting because it's almost like if you want to shoot something, shoot something. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of a spot we can just have a good background.
Oh. Don't worry about that. I mean, like, I'm literally just like, it's just supposed to be it's mainly about the conversation.
Okay.
Because like I want it to be very freeform, but also be like in the environment of you being creative. That's why I kind of said like either where you edit or
Well, for the record, it's like my first time ever being interviewed ever. Yeah, so I was like, it's so awkward. Not awkward, but it was like I'm trying to like, this whole time when you mentioned, I was like the whole past 3 days, I'm like, oh, I'm so anxious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta do this.
And if you don't care, like for someone who's off, like behind the camera,
exactly,
to be on
it's kind of like, I mean, you get it.
I've tried filming myself and like doing like my own podcast.
Me too.
I hate it. That's why I'm doing this way. Like, I want to be on it eventually, but I think it's just a way to get me to shoot and also like talk to people and interview them about this stuff. Because, like I said, it's really what I like.
Yeah. Another thing that I do look for in a video is, like I say, like movement. I try to put like myself, not my like myself into the video.
Yeah.
And but like I love how I end my videos, which is very human. Like with Philly, I ended it with us. It was really us hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just showing to you and then showing that, yeah, I'm really awkward on camera. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, but I'm still going to show it. And I love ending videos with some human touch to it.
Yeah.
Whether it's like Mexico, the video I did for Mexico was my family and stuff. And even that, the song was specific. It was a Pinocchio. It was the Pinocchio song from the Guillermo del Toro's version of it. And it's about just traveling and being in other places. It's that time, I mean, we were traveling a lot, moving to a bunch of places.
Yeah.
And so I really felt for that.
You had like, it was like 24-hour drive, like bus ride, right? Down there?
Yeah. And even that time, I only had my camera. I didn't have my laptop. And I was like, damn, I can't edit while I'm here. But it was like a relief because I didn't do any editing work. It was like, let me just use my camera and film my entire experience here. And so that video was just like, I put it together. It was a tough one. I was like an editor's block because I couldn't find a song.
Yeah.
It was just a random. I just put the playlist and that song came on. But at the end of it, I used like random. I didn't intentionally do it. Our producer Alyssa mentioned it. Like, hey, you ended it with like dogs barking, and it just felt real. Like, yeah, we were out. Like you were outside in Mexico, and this is how the night is, where everyone's outside. You hear background noises and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, I did, I consciously did it without knowing, but I always used to do that. I end it with something that's very human.
Yeah. And it kind of just like life goes on almost.
Yeah.
So when you said like in Mexico, like the difference between like that was you couldn't edit, right?
Yeah.
And you really just had to stay with your camera. Like, what's the difference of those two for you?
Like filming and editing?
Yeah.
Filming. Filming. I'm not really consciously. I'm putting something together in my head, but it can be something different. But with editing, I'm trying to really pull something out because I really like creating a story mainly, especially with shooting my videos. Even though it's just a, landscape and city.
Yeah.
I try to put some personal stuff the music I chose was specific. So with editing, it's kind of just strictly focused on making the story right, which I'm fully conscious of. Rather than filming, I'm hoping I'll get something out of it,
Yeah. So the difference is one, you're just capturing whatever's there. The other, you're pulling from something that exists, and you're trying to create something. It's like you're kind of building something, right? And so you're collecting all the materials to build it, and then you're building it.
Yeah. Rather than kind of I think that's a good analogy.
Yeah. So of those two, which do you kind of
prefer?
No, it's just when do you what do you do to get into the zone to do those, or how do you find that you get into that zone easier? Mm-hmm. Like the flow state.
It was mainly from the show The Bear, right? I don't know. You seen The Bear?
A little bit.
Okay,
not much.
There's a part of the show, I think season 2, where one of the guys goes to Sweden. He goes to another country, and there's a sequence of just city shots and music that's synced up to it. And when I saw that, I realized you can just do some shots, B-roll shots, and make it interesting in a TV show. Enough where I'm this is pretty cool. And it was colorful. It was very. It was for a reason. They put all that together. It was to show this guy is in another country, and he's also was getting inspiration for his foods, and that's why he was there. So once I figured that out, and I'm what, I can just go out in public and do it myself, just make videos, and that's synced up to what I think are good shots.
Yeah.
then that what got me like, let me just take this serious. Like, let me actually focus on the composition and these shots.
Yeah, and so like that's where you're kind of like looking for the movement, the geometry, the subjects.
Exactly, and I'm starting to care about it rather than even with like sound. You know what I mean? Like, I started to use, or not sound, even I'm so used to using slow motion. I mean, you know, our work we use a lot of slow motion. So lately, my videos are just regular speed, and that's because of just real. I was like, why should I slow it down? Like, let me just see how it is regular, and then I started to like it. Like, okay, this is nice, and and that's when I started accepting movement, natural movement, cars coming by naturally instead of slow motion, or people walking normally instead of just in slow mo.
So like when you get an idea like that, you know, do you kind of get excited to go do that? Where do you kind of feel that come from?
Now I do. Like before, I traveled before I started filming these stuff, and I would walk like Sean, another producer. We would get dinner and then walk around the city, and I would mainly take photos. That was my first thing. I would just take photos at where I'm at, take nice on the side, just take some photos. And then it wasn't until I watched that show, and then we went to San Antonio, and that was the day I got this camera, and I was like, let me specifically go out and just shoot my day there. Cause it was like a one-day thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna walk in and do a daytime to nighttime video shoot and actually see how it goes, and put a video together and put it out and see if people like it. And people did, and after that, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah, like kind of had that idea that choice to kind of
and make the most out of it as well. Yeah, and then also appreciating making the most out of it, because I was so used to seeing other people and filming other people. They're just doing their regular thing. And I'm just like, you know what? I can also do that. Like, I can do my own thing, film it, and enjoy it. Yeah. And then make a video out of it as well. Like, get another kick out of that trip.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and get something for yourself almost, instead of it just being like getting paid to do it.
Yeah, it's more. That's why it's that version of it. So I try to make it personal rather than this is just a video I'm gonna post and here you go. It's like, no, this was my trip with people, and I will show also all the time. I will always show who's with me. Yeah. If there was someone with me, I'll always show them, because again, it's for me to remember, like, I had this trip at this place with this person. This is the things that we saw. This was a song that I was like specifically listening to and I enjoyed. Yeah. It's like not like a memoir, but it's
almost like capturing that moment.
That moment,
like,
yeah.
And telling it your way. And
exactly, yeah. I didn't really take it that serious until like people were like family members would comment and say like, I'm living, I'm seeing your world through your lens. Yeah. And I was like, damn, I didn't really see it. I'm putting these videos kind of for myself a bit, just to show like this is what I did at this time. Yeah. But yeah, it's like,
because at first it was just like, oh, I want to get this, I want to work, I want to do this, I want to be creative. Yeah. And then like at a certain point you started coming out like your personality started coming out through this work and who you are and like what you're doing and why you're doing it,
This used to be my friends like creative little spot, just to hang out and talk. Yeah, it's different now. Man, I don't know. It's now like a party place. They'll pull up. But what were you saying again? Oh no, you're saying that you sometimes you feel like you're not.
Like I just feel like I'm not, like you get those ideas where you're like, oh man, like, or at least I get my ideas that like this is what I want to do. If I can do one thing with my creative ability, it's this, right? Yeah. And for me, that's gonna be like a short film that I want to make, or like it could be feature too. But like I'm trying to write the script and working on it, and it's like I want it to be this thing, and I don't know what it is. But like, if you had your dream project and you just completed it, what would it be?
That's one thing I'm trying to like. There was a year where I literally was questioning like, what do I really want to do? Like, because even with filmmaking, I've been doing it since I was like 8 years old. Like my first memories are like being on camera and stuff. So, and then I transitioned to doing like my first video work was music videos and stuff, and then going to school, like high school, doing like PSAs, and then getting a job and doing medical stuff. I'm like, am I creative? Do I want to make a movie, or am I a commercial? You know, or do I want to make a short film? I don't know what I want to make. And to this day, I still don't know. That's why I'm like, right now I'm gravitating to documenting stuff, because I did documentaries, so I think I like that. But at the end of the day, if I can just be the person that can just create whatever at any time, have an unlimited amount of money and do that, I think that's the goal. Because I really don't know. Like, I don't know what my final, this is who Nasson is. Right now, I'm just like, I even put on my bio, like, just an artist or just a filmmaker, because I film everything, you know, but I don't know what that dream project would be.
Yeah. Is there anything that, like, any idea you get that kind of jumps to your mind every once in a while?
I would want to do PSAs for some reason. I want to, like, make short videos that give you a message, like, get you, that hits you too.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that was very popular. Just, you know, they were dark, and some, now we watch it to kind of cringe, or not cringe, to kind of like almost a little cringe or cliche. But
yeah,
I want to make those things where you rethink it, like, that was a commercial.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was an ad. Like, and it's talking about this subject, and it's a real, you know, and it could be an issue, and I'm speaking through it through a video.
Yeah.
My dream would be like a Super Bowl ad, and it's a PSA of something that's serious that grabs people's attention, and people talk about it. Like, oh, you just see that? Like, it wasn't a funny commercial, but it was a interesting one. Like,
yeah, it stayed with the.
Yeah, it stayed with me. Yeah.
Like that makes sense. And like that. It's got purpose. Yeah. Yeah, because like, and that's the thing too, is like you kind of have that purpose, and that's more of what I'm asking is like, you know, is there a purpose kind of driven project that you have in mind?
There is, like, and it's mainly about because it's mainly about antidepressants, and just mainly like medication, being you know, always being taking pills and stuff like that for the antidepressants and stuff. And there's an idea that I have that, you know, it alludes like a kid dealing with that for a long period of time, and to a normal person, it's kind of like they need that. And this is what, well, I'm gonna just let this thing go by. So the main, how would I call it? Call to action would be like, yeah, these medications does help for some people, but it can also make it worse for some people. And for me, it can be controversial to say, but if you have, you know, this condition, like, that's who you are, and, you know, I hope you try to work your way to get better with it. But, you know, when you take medication, a lot of people say they feel like a zombie, like they feel like they're not themselves, like they're there, but they're not fully there.
Yeah.
So I want to show something like that, where someone's in like a sucking place, and they see what's going on, but in the end, like they're not expressing how they really feel, because they're kind of like dead in the inside.
Yeah, they're numbing.
Or yeah, they're numbing the outside, but there's still emotions inside, but they can't let it out because they're under medication. And I want it to be not like, I want it to be more like they advertise it as it's a good thing, like, you know, like how any typical pharmacy ad is. You know, they show rainbows and stuff, but then at the end it tells you all the side effects. Yeah. That's like, you may have thoughts of suicide. I'm like, whoa, I just saw there's two old dudes just hanging out at the whatever they're doing in this ad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what do you mean these two people playing bocce ball? What do you mean thoughts of suicide? That's not what this looks like.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is going on? But yeah, so I wanted to make like something to call that out. Let's just try to pass this. Yeah. But yeah, that's like a dream project. It's not even a hard one, but I'm a stubborn person, so I have ideas that I sit for a long time, but they're not passion projects. They're just ideas that I'm like, this is interesting that I want to do.
Yeah, because like, and that's the thing for me. Like, the thing for me is like, there's like the person you see, and then there's the person you don't see. Yeah. Right, and that's the idea that I want to kind of like capture.
Yeah.
And like I want to work on, but I don't know how to. And so like I'm trying to create a script for it and like work on it, but it's like sometimes it's like if you're not ready, if you're not ready to receive that. I read this book about how like creativity works, and it's like you'll only receive it when you're ready, and you just have to be patient and like wait for the idea to fully come to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like the older I get, the more I feel like that's the case, where you're kind of like,
yeah, kind of just waiting for the inspiration to come.
Like
I mean, like you told me about the Phoenix Suns video, and I was cleaning my house, and I just felt I had a good energy, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video. I feel like making this video. I had it all thought on my head. It wasn't the original idea, but it was something.
Yeah.
And it turned out to change, and then it finalized to be what it was. But it was because I'm just like cleaning my house. I just happened to be just cleaning my house and sparked,
Yeah, it just boom.
But then it's a gift and a curse, because it could take a freaking 2 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when you need it, it's not always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like.
And I'm not and it's just me. I just don't write anything. I believe in myself to just remember ideas, so that's why I still remember ideas from years ago. Like that one I told you earlier was idea from during COVID or something, or after 2021. Yeah. But it's something that I would say as a passion project, because I still remember frame by frame how I would want it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over here, dude. I've never recorded this spot. I only came here with a photography camera.
Which I'm like, in Phoenix? I don't know about that one.
Also, I envy like art, like artists or painters and sculptures, because then they can show off stuff like this, and then it's just there for everyone to see.
Yeah, like
it's pretty cool. Like I respect.
And it just stays there.
Yeah, it just stays. Yeah.
Let me just check this.
Pretty good, dude.
So like on the like more formal shoots, what do you look for? Still just movement, interesting things?
No, I think for the more formal ones, I gotten so used to just how the structure was. Like if you've seen how I already have the shot list ready, that was already there when I kind of got in. So when I do these type of shoots, unless I get told like, hey, let's get creative, I try to see some like shots, like try to like direct some shots, and that's when I try to take advantage of like directing, because I don't think I got good directing skills. Like I bet you are too, like expressing our final idea to somebody can be sometimes hard.
Yeah.
Because like we're just not sociable people sometimes.
Or like just like like saying words that coordinate to the like idea in your head.
Yeah, it's just
like,
not.
articulating.
And you can see it, but they can't understand. But yeah, so like at those shoots, I try to take advantage of being a director and telling someone that literally doesn't do acting and be like, hey, can you do this, and then look at the camera and smile.
Yeah. And
try to get used to that. And I've seen it progress, so I get more comfortable to not be uncomfortable of telling them what to do.
Yeah.
So I think I focus more on directing more than just finding a shot. Which I guess that is, like finding a shot, directing the shot.
Yeah.
So it's more directing and being able to talk.
And it's going from like directing to like cinematography, whereas the part where you're actually like filming and you're directing the shot, whereas the other ones you're directing the people in the shot.
Yeah. That's what I look forward to the most.
And then what would you say is like one of the ways you're trying to improve right now, or like what is something you want to improve on?
I'm trying to improve of taking everything seriously. Like, I give everything. I don't like putting out anything that I don't feel is a good video, unless the client says I want this out, and I'm like, I gotta listen to you. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Other than that, like going to a shoot, I think once you get comfortable, you get lazy. So I feel like there's times where I feel like I've been lazy or just doing the bare minimum because I can and I know it will work. So I'm trying to teach myself, stop doing that, don't do that. Do more, add more if you want to. So like for a shoot that we've done so many times, how about we do a different angle? How about you zoom in closer to their face and get a different type of shot? Which I did that before and the client recognized it. They're like, hey, that shot that you did, that you just zoomed into their eyes, that was good. I'm like, they okay.
I like that, yeah.
And I'm like, oh damn, okay, so it works. Like adding a little bit of something just for yourself, not for them, just for yourself. To feel like I did
kind of forcing that creativity into that thing that maybe doesn't necessarily need it.
I've been trying to do that more on all my stuff.
Okay. Yeah. It's always nice too, because you like. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, because then you get to the point, like, I don't know if this happens to you, but for me, it's if a video isn't, up to snuff, it's not what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just so hard to get it out there.
Yeah.
And so, like, then I just have what I have. Like, I don't have much more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any more footage to put in there. I don't have other stuff. And so, I will just let those videos sit.
Oh yeah,
and just like won't post them. And I'm like, I gotta just do something with this.
I did it twice, or I did it with when we went to Texas, Kemah, Texas.
Yeah.
And I posted. It's not there because I posted and deleted it. But that video.
I was like, I saw that video. I saw even the music too. I was like, that's an interesting choice for that, because like, I had a song that I would use.
Yeah, that one too was it had a deeper thing, like. It was just a deeper thing. I was going through something emotionally, and I used a specific song, right? It was like you said, a song that you wouldn't choose, but there was a reason for it.
But it felt so right for that moment, too.
Right, yeah. Like, yeah. Let's hook up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, what was I saying? We're in Kemah.
We're talking about just like not putting everything
that
out
one.
there,
There was still, even with that song, there wasn't enough footage to finish that song. Like, there was still more footage that I needed to get the amount of shots and pace that I wanted. And I have two versions of it, and the version that I put out was the easier route. Like, and I didn't like that. And even then, I chose the easier route, and it wasn't the full vision, because that song was just instrumental. The original one was the actual duet with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Yeah. The idea was, two couples. In the song you hear it, but in the visual it's empty.
Yeah.
But it sounds pretty. It sounds like a cute date, but it's an empty amusement park at nighttime, and it's Halloween themed. So I wanted that contrast of like hearing a nice couple and hearing sounds and ambient.
Yeah.
But it's empty and it's a nighttime. Whatever it was,
I
don't even know what it was.
It was a boardwalk
amusement park that was empty, literally, at 8 p.m.
Yeah, it was.
But and that one, that was one of those things where I deleted it because I'm like, this wasn't really what I want, and I don't have enough footage for it.
Yeah.
Even reuse, like that was like one of the instances where I reused some footage. And I'm like, ugh. That's one thing I don't like doing in a video. If I have to reuse a shot.
It's one of my biggest. It's because like I think of it like once you've used that piece of wood or like that piece of video, you can't reuse it. Like it's like when I try to like repurpose footage for like social media cuts or stuff, I'm like, I've already used this. This is in something.
Yeah, else. It's in something else, and I mean, some people are not gonna notice it, but we notice it, and people like us is gonna notice it.
Yeah.
Even that Hawaii one, there is a mistake in that video, but I'm like, it's already out. I'm not gonna take it down.
Yeah.
And there's one shot that's not colored technically. We go straight.
I think I saw that one too.
You noticed
it? But like, I know to look for that.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, and but I'm like, it's whatever. Like, I'm not gonna go. That's when I'm like, I'm gonna let it go, because that one was meant for. Like for me and Sierra, I'm like, so I'm like, and she didn't notice it, so I'm like, she wouldn't even care. So, it's like one thing. If the song, if I have to do the easy way, the easy route, that makes me feel, even though to other people it's not a big deal, but
the amount of people who are like, oh no, your videos are great. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you think. I'm
yeah,
sorry, like it doesn't.
You,
like that's so nice, but like, it's not gonna. It's not what I.
Yeah, it's not the vision.
It's not what I could have done.
Yeah.
Like, you always feel like you could have done better.
Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest parts as like a creative.
Yeah.
Is you always feel like. I don't know. I always feel like there's more I could have done.
Yeah. And then but there is that, that bittersweet of finishing a project. And you're like, damn, I'm done.
I can check this off too. Yeah. Like, I have one that I posted on my YouTube, and I did not promote it at all, because I was like, I went out to shoot a meteor shower on one camera and do like a time lapse, and on my other camera, I was filming myself doing it, which was just like so much to juggle.
Yeah.
Because not only am I like setting up shots for the photo, but I'm also setting up shots of me setting up shots for the photo, you know? And then I'm also like explaining what I'm doing and like how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. And it just kept coming back to like all this stuff. And it was like during a full moon. So like all the astrophotography looked like daytime.
Oh, wow.
Like the photos looked like daytime. So like I showed someone the photo and I was like, can you believe that's 10:30 at night? And they're like, that's not. I'm like, yeah, there's Orion's belt right there. Like, and
that's
like,
cool.
If I didn't film it, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So, and then I see that. Then the next day, I was like, oh, I didn't fully set up my camera right, and and then I wrapped it up really fast, and so I was just like, I hate this, and I was like, I need to be posting my stuff more. You know, like even if it's a failure, I'm gonna put it out there.
I've been and that's one thing. Everyone says it, like it's you know, posting. If it fails, it doesn't matter. Keep going, and then eventually something's gonna hit. But it's like, damn, I don't want, you know, it's like I don't want to go through that stage, but I mean, we all pretty much have to, you know.
Yeah.
And there's one idea that I'm like playing with. And that is like showing my timeline, showing the edit timeline, and just showing, like breaking it down, like something like that. Maybe that will work, you know. Be more comfortable, and I just need to be more comfortable, like talking to a phone or a camera, right?
Yeah.
You know, and yeah.
You're telling me it's uncomfortable.
Oh, no worries, man.
It's definitely uncomfortable, and like, I mean, because like you don't want one to slip up and then get caught slipping up and then have that be everywhere always, you know.
Literally, yeah.
So.
And yeah, that's always a big pressure too.
But it's definitely, I don't know, it's like one thing that's worth it is like when you are on that project that you're like excited to finish, but also like you said, it's mixed emotions about finishing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's mixed emotions throughout the whole thing, because you're like, man, I don't want to be doing this.
Yeah.
But I have to be doing this because I want to create, and this is how I want to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And what about you? Like, what is your dream project if you were given like, hey, this is a budget, you can make something?
So like one of the big things I want to talk about is like just like abusive relationships.
Okay.
And so like it could be like substance abuse, or it could be about like actual like abusive relationships. Mm-hmm. But like something that just kind of like lets people who are watching it feel like if they're going through that, someone else has been through that and they're okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like there's nothing there's like, I love the show Ted Lasso. There's like a line in it. He's like, there's something worse than being sad, and that's being sad and alone. And so like there's nothing worse than feeling bad except for feeling like you're all by yourself and feeling bad.
Yeah.
So like if I could make it like a project that kind of talked about that, and just like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be like a whole like big thing. It just I'm trying to
just
figure
express
out
your you're just trying to express yourself.
Yeah, like just tell a story.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that you would want to make something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, because like that's what you gotta ask people, because like I wouldn't have picked PSA for you either, you know, like
a lot of
or
it,
like the antidepressant thing either.
Yeah, I mean a lot of that was because like in high school, my video teacher, he, you know, that we were making little skits for the announcements, and that one thing he would like to do was make PSAs, and it would be goofy, like someone will make a, you know, don't drink and drive PSA, because we're in high school, so they're just trying to, you know, and I thought they were fun, and sometimes it could be clever, and I'm like, that was kind of the inspiration of like, maybe I can do a good one that was just like, that would be a message, right? And it came from high school, just doing it for the fun of it. Like,
it was a project you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I was in college. I think it was just like there were all these short films that people were doing, and I just kind of like
it's like that freedom of just making something.
Yeah, and being a part of a team. I think that's a hard part for me right now is like getting into a group.
Yeah,
and doing that as a group because it's hard to find like several creatives and then linking timelines.
Yeah, and we have different lives. You know, you got to figure that out too, and then hopefully everyone's everyone's synced up. You know how serious you want to do it. Yeah, I mean that's always a tough one because even I had friends and they're still close friends, but that was supposed to happen. Whereas like let's do this, we can do it, but life happens and it's like you got to keep it going.
You got to keep and like it's also like issues of financing is like how are you going to fund these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's always a question.
It's always inexpensive, right?
Just like go, because you're out of the
light. Good.
Yeah. So like, and like, I don't know, that's one idea I've had, and another is just kind of like, it's kind of similar to yours, where like, there's times where I feel like it wasn't antidepressants, but it was something where like I was just like watching TV for 8 hours a day because I just didn't have anything better to do, and I was just that was better than nothing, you know. You just feel like sometimes you're just always kind of like numbing.
That's why I've been feeling that way recently. Like even today, I was literally on my phone before you texted, and I was just like, man, I know I'm doom scrolling right now, and I can't do this. So I got up, I'm like, got an energy drink, and did the laundry or whatever. Yeah. You know, even though I feel like I should just do an edit, should do a video, but I'm like, it's something. At least I'm not, drowning in that, but also like expressing that side of. Yeah, that shit's real, or you're stuck and you went through your whole day doom scrolling.
And then I feel that on the weekends right now because I don't have a ton to do on the weekends, and like then you just end up doing the default things.
And even when people will say like just ask people to make a video, and you'd be shocked. Like I told people that I know personally that own businesses, and I told them, hey, I will do it for free. Let me just do something. And they're like, no, it's okay. I'm like, okay. I'm only asking because I just love creating. Like, all I want to do is create. That's what I'm willing. At least at that time, is like I have a job that provides. This is just for me, and I want to help you out. And even that, like, you'll be denied.
You'd be surprised how many people say no.
Yeah. And then even when you do want to like make a living out of it, it's like, oh, you're too much, and it's like, I gave them my value. They say no, and I literally gave them myself, and they're like, no.
And like it's the balance between the two is like, because everyone knows that they want that. They don't want to pay for it, or they don't want to be on camera, or whatever it is. They don't end up. Or
sometimes they don't really see the importance of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, but it is important. But right now, I'm trying to think of like, since we were traveling, I noticed these hotel commercials that will play when you're in a plane watching like a free movie. It will be a Hilton commercial in the beginning, and most of them are just ambient. It's a two couple at a beach, and you just hear the sounds, and they're laughing, and then the logo pops up.
It's so easy.
So I'm thinking like, and I'm trying to think as an artist, because painters do this, where if you go to a hotel and you see a painting on the wall, it's commissioned. Sometimes commissioned by an artist that puts these paintings on the walls, and everyday people see it. So I'm like, what if I make random shots? I fund it myself, make these random shots, hit up the Hiltons, be like, hey, all you gotta do is put a logo at the end, and it's your commercial. Yeah. And then I just sell you the commercial, because I've seen these ads, and they're simple. Yeah. Well, if they can do that, then I can make one and then try to, hopefully sell it. Yeah. And they, you can just hit them with it's already been, production's been paid for. Buy the video, you're good,
Yeah.
But I got inspired because artists do that with their paintings. Like, I'll do all of your paintings in your hotel for this, and I'm like, everyone gets to see it every day, and you got paid to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to like think of, but it's easy said than done,
Yeah, and then you got to get to that motivation. You got to get yourself into the process of doing it.
Doing it, yeah. That's the worst part, is trying to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up by just asking, like, who you are and, like, what do you do?
Okay.
Those are deeper than they seem.
No, I know, yeah. I'm Nasson Carrillo, but I go by Nas or on Instagram FreeNasson. The little and now like a play on the Freemasons and stuff. I love triangles, so kind of all got put together that way. But I'm just an artist. I call myself just an artist because I eventually would want to do literally anything that involves creating something, whether it's a drawing, filming something, making something out of clay, or doing some 3D design. If I can try, or even music too. If I can make a song like instrumentally, that's cool. I would want to do that.
Yeah, I get that. It's interesting because there's people who are like, oh, like I do graphic design and I only do graphic design, and then there's people who are like, There's people that only edit anything. There's people that
I only edit. I'm like, what do you?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't want to hold a camera? And,
yeah.
And there's people that that I met on set were pushing. Record was their whole thing. Their whole thing, like, oh my god, like, and that was they made their day pushing record.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't want to do that, but I get it. Like, that's your thing.
Yeah.
And you're probably way better than me. So what am I supposed to say?
Yeah. But just as long as you're creating something, for me, that's where the magic is.
Yeah. I even try to learn how to accept that there's people that are going to be better than you at that specific thing. So I know there's going to be someone that's better at editing because that's their thing. And like, that's awesome. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's a tough pill to swallow. I
work
on that every day.
I'm cocky. I
work on that every day.
I'm the best of everything, but I know it's like, there's someone there,
Yeah.
But even with the youth, like if you think you can't write a script, try your best, but there's someone that's going to be like, let me help you out in writing it because I can write something. And it's like, I know that's going to be a hard one to pass down, but sometimes it can take that where you're like, I have a friend that's actually a good script writer. Can you help me out with this?
Yeah.
Or you keep rewriting and then you freaking perfect it, right? Yeah. That's another thing too.
Is going through the process of just
knowing that this is not the final one, I gotta redo it.
Yeah.
That's the sucky part. That's what I do a lot with the videos.
Yeah.